It's been a bit of a baptism of fire, learning how to shoot with cars. None of the guys on the crew had ever done it before. We all did our research and kind of discussed it a lot prior to shooting, but I guess the whole point of this was that it was like, just filmmakers trying to collaborate and try something new. So it was quite refreshing to kind of be approaching something with no experience and kind of learning as much as you can before shooting and putting that to practice.
For the majority of the shoot, I was really concentrating on the logistics of making sure the equipment was getting from point A to point B to point C, and making sure everyone had everything they needed.
So we used a few different rigs while shooting. Like we used the obvious ones, like we used FS7s for the drive-by shots, and we used a DJI Phantom for all of the aerial shots. The thing that was really interesting was working out how to do the tracking shots on the road, because we didn't want to just stick a camera in the boot and kind of hope that it'd look okay, because on a road like the one we shot on, the chances are it'd look bumpy as fuck. It would look a mess. I did quite a bit of research looking at different camera systems and rigs for shooting, and basically the thing that kept coming up is that a gimbal mounted to a car mount is absolutely useless without a vibration isolator. So I had a look. Could not believe how astronomically expensive these isolators are. I mean, in terms of film kit, they're cheap, but in terms of doing it as a personal project, it's a lot. £1,000 just on an isolator plate was too much. So after many failed attempts, we finally built our own. We used kind of some mini isolators we managed to source online at a reasonable cost, and kind of built them into the camera plate we have, which is like a Camtree suction kit. So we used a Xeon Crane 2 on this vibration isolator we built on a top of a Camtree car mounting kit, and it works an absolute treat. Some of the tracking shots we got were really, really great. There's a couple of moments where it was a bit shaky, but I think on the whole, for a homemade isolator and quite a small gimbal, it worked really, really well.
So with Top Gear as such a kind of an iconic TV show around British motoring, the presenters have been there for like 10, 15 and 20 years, and they're so used, because this is their life, and Tom doesn't have that experience. He doesn't really have that. So in this Jaguar that's really built for two people, I was sort of crunched up in the back like that, with this like little script like that. And to be fair, the roads aren't big up there, and I was a lot higher than everyone else, and some of those think, Tom, just make sure that he's under 40 around here. And I'm like, looking out, reading this script. But Tom, make sure that it's fun. Get across that moment that it's fun, and you're loving this.
Listen to it. It's incredible. I know electric are faster, and I know that they've got more torque, and I know that they're economical, but don't tell me electric will give you the same smile and feeling of goosebumps that I get when I listen to that engine driving up through this road.
Any kind of car shooting takes a lot of coordination, and health and safety is obviously the #1 priority when filming. We're very lucky that all of the crew we had are very kind of competent drivers, and our stunt driver Ian Tyres is a very kind of competent, experienced driver, and we made sure at all points that we did genuinely adhere to the speed limits and kind of all of the road etiquette. But at the same time, we managed to get some incredible tracking stuff just from the back of a car, so it kind of shows that you don't have to necessarily close down a road for filming as long as you're doing it in a safe manner, because everyone was seat belted and strapped in, and we genuinely did actually do the speed limit to get the shots we needed, because this wasn't a film about racy kind of driving, it was all about smooth cruising through a V8.